I'm going to be playing every Crash Bandicoot game ever made to relive my childhood memories and to see how they hold up today. We're going to be playing them in release date order, and I'm also going to be ranking them as I go. I also want to point out I played a couple of these games as a kid, but I missed out on a lot of these. With that being said, starting off with the original Crash Bandicoot 1. Crash Bandicoot came out in 1996 for the PlayStation 1. I wasn't even born when this game came out. It's also the first 3D linear platformer with a fixed camera. You can only jump and spin, so even though it seems pretty easy, I'm not much of a gamer. I kind of forgot to mention I'm a very basic gamer. I played mostly FIFA and Call of Duty most of my teenage years. So yeah, although it's a very basic game, there were some elements in this that caught me by surprise. I also forgot about this mask guy who I just googled that gives Crash a bit of a extra life or a force field of some sort, because every time I didn't have the mask and I got hit by something slight, I would easily die. I didn't know there was bonus rounds if you collected 3 little artifacts with a woman on there or a girl version of Crash on there. And safe to say, I really do suck, because both times I got them, I just instantly died. Here's a clip that I thought was pretty funny. It just goes to show how bad I am at video games. What? There was also an Indiana Jones themed level where it's just a big boulder chasing you down the hill, which wasn't too hard, but it was definitely my favorite level that I got to in this game. And like I mentioned before, I really do suck. I got to the upstream level of this game, and I didn't know that after dying and using all of your lives, you get reset back to level 1. And honestly, I just ended it off there. I didn't want to go through all that. I have 19 other games to get to. So yeah, that was my experience with Crash Bandicoot 1. And it's the first game, so I'm just going to leave it at number 1 for now. And we'll see how it goes. So how does Crash 1 stack up against the rest of the games? How can the series that spans about 20 years evolve from the original? Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back released just about a year after the original. I am immediately met by Dr. Neo Cortex, who tricks Crash into collecting crystals to quote-unquote save the world. I'm thrown back into different parts of the island, which aesthetically feels the same as the original game. I do see different mobs and different obstacles, and it changes scenery into this winter map was nice. I also realized I can slide and body slam. That's probably something I could have done in the original game, I just didn't realize it. There was a cool water jet ski thing on one of the maps, which was cool and different. I did a bonus round where I thankfully didn't die in. Oh my god! I made it up to the boss fight with Ripto, which was a little confusing at first, but once I figured out what was going on, I defeated him pretty easily. I thought, hey, I beat this whole first part of the game and a boss. I think this is a valid reason to jump into the next one. So this is going to go into my number 1 so far. I just enjoyed it just a little bit more than the original. Crash Warped, or Crash 3, released in 1998, the third installment in the series that follows up from the first 2. Immediately before I jump into the game, I was like, okay, what could they do differently in the third game that sets it apart? Because it's only been 2 years since the first one. There was honestly more of a variety in this game when it comes to levels. I went underwater for a level. I was Coco, which is Crash's sister. She was riding a tiger for a level. Cool lava level. And then there was a jet ski level with Coco again. I had a boss fight against Tiny Tiger. I was so proud of myself on how good I did, I started teabagging him after winning. Overall, it was more diverse, fun, and there was more world building in this for me. Oh my god. Dude, these freaky ass frogs keep violating me. So yeah, this is gonna go at number 1 for now. Crash Team Racing released in 1999 and is the first Crash racing game. Before I jumped into this, I was skeptical because, really? A racing game? It can't be that fun. Oh, I barely won that. Who is that? This game really caught me by surprise. It's not mind-blowing in any way, but I started off in adventure mode. It takes you to a screen to choose a character. Obviously, I chose Crash. I had to race tracks to unlock other tracks. I started realizing this is very Mario Kart-esque, so I had to Google what comes first because this game was really fun. After playing adventure mode for a while, I tried out arcade mode. I was obliterating my competition in adventure mode, so I thought I'd try hard difficulty in arcade mode, and it was definitely the most thrilling game I've had so far. Ooh, I actually barely won that. My experience with team racing is not what I was expecting, but I ended up really liking the game. Completely different game from the first two, so I'm gonna put this at number 2. Surprisingly.
For once, feeble brother, I agree with you.
Brothers! Crash Bash released in 2000. It's a party video game, well, more like a party crasher if you ask me. I don't want to start a debate here, but can we talk about how this just feels like we have a Mario Party at home situation? I mean, Mario Party dropped in 1998 and was out here changing lives and ruining friendships. And then Crash Bash shows up 2 years later hoping to bring the same fun. I mean, not quite. It's like when you order a Big Mac and get a soggy off-brand burger instead. It's still technically food, but it's just not hitting the same. The mini games are fine, I guess, but having to win 3 times in a row to actually win, that's not a challenge, that's a hostage situation. I spent nearly 20 minutes just trying to finish the first game, and by the end of it, I was kind of just begging to move on. The boss fight against Papu Papu was definitely the highlight. It was pretty fun, but also really easy. Overall, Crash Bash isn't terrible, but it's not something I'd revisit. It's gonna go at number 5 on my list.
Crash Bandicoot, my old nemesis. How the heck are you?
Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex, the first Crash game I ever played and an absolute staple of my childhood. Released in 2001, my brother and I would fire this up on the PlayStation 2 almost every night. We were determined to beat this in one sitting, because we didn't have a memory card, and if we didn't finish it that night, it was back to square one the next day. And let me tell you, those nights got really heated. We were raging so hard, my dad had to come in and hit us with the classic, those sessions were pure childhood adrenaline, frustration, excitement, and it all bundles up to a core memory of mine. And here I am now as a wise 24-year-old, and yeah, this game is still pretty tough, but I'm definitely cruising through the levels faster than I remember. Maybe I've gotten better, or maybe Kid Me was just really terrible at this game. Either way, I was genuinely having fun, and the nostalgia did hit me hard. I might even come back to finally finish this once and for all, just to get some closure for little me. So yeah, the Wrath of Cortex is going at number 3. Next up, we got Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure for the Game Boy Advance. It released in 2002, and the first Game Boy Advance game I'll be playing in this video. Let's be real, it's a straightforward Crash game. Cortex is up to no good, what a shocker, trying to shrink the entire planet, so naturally it's up to Crash to gather 20 crystals and to restore the planet to its original size. You know, just a typical Tuesday for our Bandicoot buddy. Something I noticed right away is there's no voice dialogue at all, it's just text, which is totally okay. I could totally read, just wanted to say that. Now let's talk about the gameplay. The main difference here is the dimensions. The game is rocking that side-scrolling vibe, but calling it a 2D doesn't feel right. There's a level where you're getting chased and it feels 3D, so I'm gonna call this game a 2.5D, and I'm also gonna call it a day. Overall, it's fine, not bad, not amazing. It's a Crash game squeezed into a GBA cartridge, but in the grand ranking of the Crash games, it's gonna slide at number 7. Not quite the huge adventure I was hoping for, but it's a portable Crash game, what can you do? Alright, I'm just gonna jump into Crash Bandicoot in Trance. It's the direct sequel to The Huge Adventure. It released in 2003. This time around, Uka Uka's back at it, recruiting Dr. Nefarious Tropy and Entrance as the bad guys. And right off the bat, I noticed something pretty cool. Crunch, who was the villain in the Wrath of Cortex, is now just chilling with Crash and Coco like he didn't spend an entire game trying to obliterate them. Oh, and get this, I can double jump right from the start. I don't need to fight a boss to unlock it. What a concept, right? The way you jump into levels is different this time around, and honestly, I kinda prefer it. I feel like the stages are way more colorful, vibrant, and dare I say, funner? Plot twist, Crunch ends up being brainwashed and evil again for the boss fight. Anyways, after dying a couple of times, I finally managed to beat him. Overall, it's a step up for sure from the Huge Adventure, more fun, more colorful, and a bit more polished. I'm gonna slide Entrance into the 7th spot and bumping the Huge Adventure down to number 8. Alright, time to hit the track again with Crash Nitro Kart. The second racing game I'm playing in this video. It dropped in 2003 and I was hoping that being a newer racing game, it stack up against Crash Team Racing. It really doesn't. First off, I gotta say, the cutscenes were looking mad crispy. Seriously, those graphics are ahead of their time. The plot, classic Crash nonsense. I had to collect keys to race the galactic champion for my freedom, because what's a Crash game without weirdly high stakes competitions? I don't know if it's the game itself or my PC was having a really bad day, but these loading screens are really rough. Jesus Christ. As I played more, nostalgia kicked in hard. I realized I played this at a friend's house back in the day. Fun memories for sure, but even nostalgia can only carry a game so far. It's fun, but not quite on the level of team racing. Oh, and I tried hard difficulty in single player mode. Let's just say we're not talking about that. God damn. So yeah, Crash Nitro Kart is alright. Not bad, not mind blowing either. I'm gonna slide this in at number 6. Alright, moving on to Crash Purple Ripto's Rampage, released in 2004. This is one of the few Crash games I did own as a kid. I remember spending countless hours trying to beat this game, redoing level after level. It's one of those games where I will have to hide under the bed sheets and keep the volume all the way down so my parents wouldn't hear me breaking crates and spinning late at night. Damn, I just got tongued down, what the fuck? What the? I always thought Spyro was just a Crash character, but I am horribly wrong. He's his own franchise, so that just shows my knowledge of video games. When I was a kid, this level was a lot harder, but I beat Spyro pretty easily this time around. As nice as it is to relive some childhood games and nostalgia, this game kind of falls short from what I remember. I think it's the worst Game Boy Advance Crash game that I've played. And it's pretty repetitive and not that fun, to be honest. So I think out of all the games I've played so far, this is definitely the last one I want to play. So yeah, this is gonna go at number 10. Twinsanity is the game I've been looking forward to this whole video. This game is the first Crash game I've ever begged my parents to buy me, and it's also the last Crash game I've ever played. The intro music is such a banger, but before you jump into a level, you're in this free roam area on the island, which is such a core memory of mine. I remember throwing the chickens at the TNT like the evil kid that I was, putting this acorn in this hole to grow a tree. I think there was something you could do with the soccer ball and beach ball, but I forgot. And the Nitro Cortex is dressed as a baddie for some reason, and I remember following him into the woods. There's also a lot of cutscenes that are really funny.
Stinking years, back and forward, but I'm not gonna do it no more.
This is as far as I've gotten in the game, which is hilarious because I will literally spend my entire time in the beginning of the island just killing chickens. Also, I don't know if it's the ROM that I downloaded for this, but I can't skip any of the cutscenes, and as funny as they are, it was really starting to frustrate me. Fuck you. Oh my god. Why am I? What? So overall, I like the vibe of this game, and it just feels more open world, which I really enjoyed. So I'm gonna put this at number 6. Crash Tag Team Racing, released in 2005. I didn't really like Nitro Kart that much, so I'm hoping this is as good or better than Team Racing. I started off not in a racing car, which was different. I ended up at this park, which was really cool in my opinion, very unique, and also hilarious that I could just spin and hit these kids in the face. So I'm like in an open world this time, and I had to get to these racing locations. I did the Tiki race first, and I could tell the racing feels different from Nitro Kart and Team Racing. I'm not sure how I feel about clashing, because you could just theoretically latch onto the first place person and shoot everyone else and then me first after you stop clashing, which is exactly what happened with this Coco NPC. I did that. Hell no, you're not gonna get first place. The game is okay. I don't think it's bad, but I think it's probably the worst racing game so far. So it's gonna go at number 8. Somebody in the comments, please explain to me what happened with this game. Crash Boom Bang released in 2006, and it's the only Nintendo DS game I'll be playing in this video. Look, honestly, this game was a little confusing for me, so I'll just show a quick montage. What? What? Why is it? What the hell? What is going on? What is going on? I'm betting on Coco. Sports betting in a kid's game. Let's go. So I'm not even playing in this game. I'm just watching. I'm just betting. I'm literally sports betting in a game. Oh my god, both of these guys suck. It's neither bad nor good, just an ordinary square. What? What's going on? What is this? I was confused as to what some of the games were, and I'm also using a DS emulator, and I couldn't figure out which one was my touchscreen, so this might actually just be my fault, but Crash Boom Bang is gonna go at the very end of my list. Sorry to any Crash Boom Bang fans out there. Crash to the Titans released in 2007. Right away I noticed there's a different animation, and Crash looks kinda different, especially Aku Aku, oh my god. Also, the voice acting is way different from every other game, so it sounded pretty weird to me. Instead of spinning, I'm slapping or punching. So far the vibes are kinda off, this just doesn't feel like a Crash game. Even when I die, I just spawn back to where I was, which doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like the spirit of a Crash game. I feel like I need to spawn back to where a checkpoint was. Overall, I just wasn't vibing with the game at all, so I didn't spend too much time on it. Yeah, Crash to the Titans going at number 13, just above Boom Bang. We're gonna go ahead and jump into Mind Over Mutant that released in 2008. So this time I'm starting off in Crash's home, which is pretty cool, but I'm not gonna lie guys, I am just not feeling this art style between this game and Crash to the Titans. I just don't like the way the animation looks, the way the graphics are. I don't like how Crash looks, how Aku Aku looks. The fact that I'm punching and not spinning for my attack, and when I die, there's no checkpoint. I just spawn where I literally just died. Maybe somebody in the comments can explain to me why these last two games are so different from previous Crash games. Even the voice actors are different, which is really throwing me off. Anyways, I got all of Coco's Capacitrons, and now I have to fetch the mail, which I decided I won't be doing that because I have free will, and I just know this game is gonna go close to the bottom of the list. So it's just a little bit better than Boom Bang and Crash to the Titans, but that's not really saying much. Sheesh, what a crazy 3-game run. I also realized I was being really harsh on Crash Bash just for there to be 6 games worse than it. So yeah, sorry to any Crash Bash fans out there. Anyways, alright, Crash Insane Trilogy is the first game I actually had to buy on Steam. It released in 2017, about 10 years after Mind Over Mutant. I wonder why. No, but really, what the heck happened in those 10 years? Well, I went on Reddit to investigate, and it seems as if these 2 games actually weren't that bad in sales. Surprisingly, it had to do more with development and studio issues apparently. But anyways, here I am playing Insane Trilogy, the first 3 games remastered with some high quality graphics.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what? Did I just hear Crash's voice? Are you telling me Crash could talk this whole time? This time I really wanted to get past the upstream level before I jump into Crash 2 and 3, which I did. I think it's also hilarious to see Crash get pummeled by all these boxes that I miss. I got to the Papu Papu boss fight. I was actually confused as to what to do, so I had to search up a tutorial. Turns out this was really easy and I just have a small brain. I could also be wrong, but I think even the music is updated. Like it's the same songs but better quality. I might be wrong though. I got through Crash 2 and jumped into my favorite game so far in this video, which is Crash 3. I mean, how much better can this get? A classic game with high quality graphics with good music. So I think if I were to go back to any game so far in this video to play on my own time, it will definitely be Insane Trilogy. So this is going to go at number 1. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled released in 2019 for the Xbox One, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch. It's a remastered version of Team Racing, which is my favorite racing game so far. Obviously, I have the sentiment when you like a game and they give it some amazing graphics, it just elevates it a little bit more. It's also multiplayer with a lot more characters, tracks, and customizations available. I don't think anything will ever top Mario Kart as a staple for racing games. I mean, it's literally in every arcade that I've been to. There's literally family events or parties or even dates based around Mario Kart. And not to absolutely dick right Mario Kart, because this is a Crash Bandicoot video, but it's the truth. It's just an iconic game, and I'm gonna say Team Racing Nitro Kart makes a good shout as a competitor, and I think it's at least on the same playing field. It's just as fun as the original Team Racing, and with the amazing graphics and being able to play multiplayer, I think this deserves to be at number 2. Crash 4, It's About Time, the continuation of Crash's story after years. There's a playstyle option. I chose retro to continue that tradition. It's how a Crash game should be played in my opinion. The same guys as always are trying to destroy Crash. Right away I noticed the graphics are great, and also this just feels smoother, maybe because this game was actually released on the PC along with console. Also I find it very helpful that there's an icon that shows where I'm landing when I jump. What would a Crash game be without being chased for a level? I must have completely missed something in the cutscenes, because now we're dimensionally jumping into other maps, which I think is pretty cool. So apparently there's a rift and we need other masks to close these dimensions. There's this phasing thing I could do, which is very unique. We just established I have a small brain, so I'm not gonna lie, I was having a hard time figuring out when I should be phasing or changing things. I was getting Ratchet and Clank vibes. Hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. I made it to the boss fight and I had to really lock in because I was struggling, but I finally beat him and decided to call it a day. After 20 years or so since Crash 3 Warped, Crash 4, It's About Time is really good, and I don't see how any hardcore Crash fans can be upset or dissatisfied with this game, but I could be really wrong. Any hardcore Crash fans out there, let me know. But in my opinion, I think this is a great way to reintroduce the Crash franchise in modern times, so I think this is gonna go at number 3. Holy comeback, Crash fans, you guys were down bad. I can't imagine how die-hard Crash fans must have felt. We're finally at the last game, Crash Team Rumble, released in 2023 for the Xbox and PlayStation. It's an online multiplayer game and it's the third-party game for the Crash franchise. I'll say this one right off the bat is just better than Crash Bash and Boom Bang. It's fun, but there's only one game mode. Despite that, I really do think the maps are really cool, and that's about it. Like I said, it's fun, enjoyable, but repetitive. I feel like this could have been more of a Crash 4 DLC. It just doesn't feel like a complete game even though how fun it is. So I'm gonna put this at number 8, concluding my playthrough of every Crash game and ranking them based on my own experiences. It was fun to replay some of the Crash games I owned as a kid and relive some memories and feel some nostalgia. I also got to learn more about the franchise and play some modern Crash games. Crash fans, let me know if there's a Crash 5 on the way and give me your thoughts, opinions, and experiences overall with this franchise. Feel free to leave some feedback and advice. This is my first YouTube video. Hopefully I helped you guys get tucked into bed, and remember, I'm not really a gamer, so these are just my thoughts.